Body language, love versus passion. You don't need words and speech for body language analysis because words and speech, they lie to us. That's what body language is about. We don't focus on the words or the lips moving. We focus on our visual of the face, the nose, the ears, the way the body moves. Yes, the ears may not move and maybe the nostrils flare, but for the most part, where the ears are located is part of body language. The deputy marshals claim that they found Caitlin Armstrong through her eyes. It was her eyes that gave her away. And that may be part of the truth, but I'm here to give you the whole story. But why don't we start with the eyes? Look at her eyes on the left before she supposedly murdered somebody. Her eyes were alive. But her eyes on the right, after she's supposedly murdered somebody, her eyes are dead. She is definitely living a bad life. She was on the run. If you don't know anything about Caitlin Armstrong, she was in sort of a love triangle. I don't like to use that word love triangle because I don't really think it was truly a love triangle. I mean, Armstrong here, she had a relationship with a man, and this man was fooling around with her with another woman. I'm not going to go into the names or anything on her lover, the man, or the other woman that was involved with her lover, but I do want to focus on love versus passion. She definitely had a passion for this man. And she was very jealous and angry when she found out this other woman was having sex with her man. But I believe this is passion. Passion is not as deep. And passion is not as lasting as real love. Had she really loved her man, the mate, she would have let it go. If she said, if he's happy with that other woman, then let him go. But no, she had a passion. That's the difference between love and passion. They're both powerful. Don't get me wrong. Love is a very powerful emotion. Passion is also a very powerful emotion. But again, passion is not as deep or lasting. Passion is desire. And that's what got her in trouble. Her desire. Her wants and desires. She's suffering. And if you look at her face right now, she's suffering. I don't know for sure if she murdered that woman, but we do want to say this to anybody, young people out there today: never open your doors at nighttime, especially if you're a woman, especially if you're alone. That's what happened to the woman who got murdered. It was at night. Supposedly, she probably just opened the door up, maybe being familiar with Caitlin Armstrong, maybe she just opened the door up to her. I don't know how Caitlin Armstrong got into the house, but anyhow, you do not open your doors at night when you're alone. A murder occurred. Caitlin Armstrong was on the run. She ran to Costa Rica. Come on. Costa Rica is the first place they look, and then Mexico. But let's try to make this as fast and quick as possible, this video. We've already discussed love and passion. They are different. But we've also discussed that the marshal said, he identified her through her eyes. Yeah, it was the eyes that gave her away. Maybe that had something to do with it. The color of her eyes are unique. But there's something else that they don't really want to tell you. They want to keep this secret for many reasons. And so that's what I'm exposing here. That's what we're analyzing. It's her ears. I've made many videos on this. I've got a video out there, how to identify criminals through their ears. Now look at the ears on this lady, especially on the picture to the left there. They're not really low like a super serial criminal. She's not super evil. This was a crime of passion, but she had it in her. She had that evil in her through this woman was banging my boyfriend, and the passion was there, the jealousy was there. There's a little bit of evil there. Not a whole lot of evil. And I say that because her ears are not as low as other criminals, but they are low. They're on the low side. When I say low, compare how high the top of the ear is to the eye level. I've made another video on this. Search it on YouTube. How to identify criminals through their ears. And that's what I'm trying to explain here. Why do you think the cops told her to push her hair back and show the ear during the camera? For the camera there, for the photograph. And also, how do you think AI will be able to identify criminals waiting to happen in the future? It's through the ears. How low are the ears set? We've known this for 200 years. When I say we, I'm talking about mainly German people. German people are always very, very good in classifying things, studying things. When I say we, I'm not talking about the third world people. No. When I say we, the people who have actually studied this stuff, it's the Germans. Sure, the Italians have too, and the English have too. Okay, why don't we just say the Europeans? But I like to say Germans because they are the experts on this sort of profiling. And they profiled this 200 years ago. We knew this. This is not something new. Law enforcement does try to keep it a secret. They don't want the criminals to know that, this could be in their genes. But again, AI in the future will be able to identify criminals waiting to happen in the future because of man's 200 years of our research. We have researched this for 200 years, taking pictures of people before they go to prison. And before there was a camera, we had artists. The artists would draw the faces. And even the Chinese and the Asians, I don't want to leave them out of this. They're very, very good at profiling and studying the face, all different face forms, the hands, the ears. You have to study this stuff. If you don't study it, if you don't research it, you're not going to know. That's why the governments want a whole bunch of unwashed masses of people who are stupid. They don't want them to know the secrets that the Germans, the Europeans, the Asians, we've been studying this for thousands of years. If you really want to go back to it, we've been studying the face for thousands of years. So it's no secret. People with ears that are low set on their head, they're prone to criminal activity. Like Asians are prone to gambling. But that's a whole different story. I don't want to go off on that. The bottom line here, and I guess I didn't make this video as quick as I wanted to, look how low her ears are set. That's one of the ways they identified her, because she had a bandage on her nose. She had plastic surgery. When she ran to Costa Rica, she was going to change her face. And she had a nose job, I guess, and she wanted to change her appearance. And the marshal said, I identified her through her eyes. Sure, that might have been part of it. But I'm here to tell you the other part was her ears. You identify people through their ears, even the ear lobes, how low they're set. Everything about the ears is, you can identify people. This is part of body language. We should not forget this.